Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Staley. I'm the Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and I'm an independent demonstrator outside of Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Hope you all are having a great day, and I'm so happy that you're joining me to check out some alternates with April's Paper Pumpkin, All the Little Things. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to find me here while I do a little bit of housekeeping. So if you are watching, please say hello, give me a shout out, give me a thumbs up. It's always easier to do this when you know you're talking to someone and not out into the great beyond, right? Hey, today is the last day to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, or May's Paper Pumpkin, I should say. This is the outdoorsy cards, right? Mountain landscapes with some new in colors. So very cool. Of course, it's 9 cards with some exclusive free stickers. Cards and envelopes are an add-on. And this is what the cards and envelopes look like. And they are gorgeous. But you do have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get these. Hi, Debbie. Good afternoon. And they feature those in colors. They feature boho blue, copper clay, moody mauve, pebbled path, and wild wheat, along with daffodil delight and mossy meadow. So they are beautiful. They stand alone. Add a greeting. You've got some really quick, great masculine cards. I did order a few sets of these because I see a class in the future that isn't even going to require the Paper Pumpkin, but because I'm a subscriber, I was able to get the card and the envelopes. So anyway, last day, if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you want this, you can either go to mypaperpumpkin.com and sign up, or you can purchase a subscription, prepaid subscription in my online store. Link will be found below. And you can choose a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month, or a 12 month. But this is a really good one, and I'm excited to get that one. I'm excited to play with it and then share it with you. And then on May 2nd, if you missed it, they announced a new kit. If you're a kit person, this one is going to be a whole lot of fun. Creates shaker cards. Again, it's 9 cards, regular size, 5.5 by 4.25. Has an exclusive stamp set in it, a blueberry bushel ink spot. Yay. So that's one of our new returning colors. And of course, all of the supplies that you need, including the self-adhesive cellophane shaker bags to make the cards. So blueberry bushel, coastal cabana, crushed curry, flirty flamingo, lemon lime twist, and poppy parade are the coordinating colors. In case, like we're going to do today with the Paper Pumpkin alternatives, you want to be able to maybe cut the cards apart, use pieces of them, and have coordinating cardstock or inks to go along with that, besides the blueberry bushel ink pad. All right, so that's available in the online store. And then there's still a few days left to sign up for the new color club. I have the in color club going on, 8 different products every month in your assigned color for that month. And plus a couple of free gifts throughout the tenure of the club. It does run for 5 months. Each month, again, you get a different in color in all of those products. And that is $55 a month, plus postage of $9 priority shipping if we're going long distance. Otherwise, you can do a porch pickup. I also have the core color club running. That's just the 4 new colors, not the returning colors, but the 4 new colors. In that, you get the ink pad, the ink refill, the cardstock, and the Stampin' Blends. And that one is $40 a month. And that one runs for 4 months. And at least 2 of those months, you'll get free gifts from me as well. So if you are interested in either or both of those, the links are below the video. You can sign up for those. The cutoff for that is the 14th, the end of the day on the 14th, because I plan to order on the 15th. All the supplies. Okay, what else? Oh, these cute little cards that we made together last Tuesday. Aren't they cute? This one, of course, was done with the circle sayings and some of that beautiful daisy paper, cheerful daisy paper, and then our little monkey card. And the winner of this is Cindy Millhouse. So congratulations, Cindy. And I'm going to hold these for you because I'm going to see you next Wednesday at the club. So, but I'm also going to put your name on it because, you know, the memory is not what it used to be, right? All right. And then one other announcement is that next Tuesday, we will not be doing lunch with Lori. We will be hanging out together in the evening. I have an appointment in preparation to leave at the end of the week for Norway, so I will not be here at noon to do the live. So make sure you tune in Tuesday night at 8 if you want to see what I'm up to next week. All right, well, let's bring in our paper pumpkin, the star of our show today, right? So all the little things, paper pumpkin has beautiful foil accents in it. I'll show you a sheet of those. There were 3 sheets of these in the kit, and you can see the sparkle and the shine there with the foil. And then it gives you the step-by-step instructions to make all 3 of these particular designs, right? In color, yay. Shows you even where to put your dimensionals if you're adding dimensionals to that particular project. We're not actually going to do these projects. I've got 4 alternates I'm going to share with you today. But in addition to the instruction sheets and the foil pieces, there is a shaded spruce stamp and spot in there. There is an exclusive stamp set that only is available through Paper Pumpkin, has some great greetings in it with deepest sympathy, enjoy your day, I'm grateful for you, celebrate today. 2 bolts of baker's twine. One is early espresso and one is calypso coral. We've got some gems. These look like the iridescent rhinestones. And then, of course, they give us a sheet of dimensionals to go along with that. Hey, Carol, good to see you. But check out these envelopes. Aren't they gorgeous? So I'm not using these envelopes for these cards. I'm cutting these envelopes apart because this is beautiful paper to use with Seaside Bay or other stamps that you may have on hand. And this is a really cute piece here too. So, but you do get 9 envelopes to go with each of the cards. There were some labels in there. And then, of course, this is the month that had the dividers for the Paper Pumpkin box. Unfortunately, my box was destroyed coming to me. So I'm going to hang on to these and use them in a future Paper Pumpkin box. And they're going to be great to store your stamp and spots that you get with Paper Pumpkin. But you can also customize them simply by trimming them up, making spaces a little bit larger if you want to store other stamping tools in your box. Okay. All right. So let me pull out, and this is how it's intended. This is what it would look like in there if you haven't opened your Paper Pumpkin yet, or you're not really sure how to approach it. They just kind of slide together and interlock into place. Okay. Let's start with our first card. So I already had to cut apart a envelope because that flap reminded me of the envelope fold cards that we've been doing. But this is a faux envelope fold card. I just put the flap onto the card front, and then it opens up like that. So very easy to cut it apart. And we're going to do that with our paper trimmer. Let me turn that around. I use my trimmer upside down. I bet there are other people out there that do that. If you use your trimmer with the arm on the right instead of across the top at the left, leave me a comment. I would love to know that I'm not alone with that. And we're just going to trim that flap right off even with the top of the envelope where the fold is. And then I have this entire piece that I can use this as a background on a card. Like I said, I'm going to make something with a Seaside Bay set with this. And then these pieces I'll just open up and I can use to die cut or punch images out of as well. So I love when they give us beautiful envelopes. Unfortunately, the recipients of my cards don't usually get the beautiful envelopes because I typically cut them up. So yeah, so I will give you the winner of these cards because there's 4. So I'll give you 2 envelopes. I'll let go of 2 of them so that you can either use them with your cards or you will get them to cut up as I'm going to do. I have a piece of basic white thick cardstock since it is our card base. This is a very simple card. So what I challenged myself to do this month is to use minimal additional supplies, right? We're always bringing in all these extra supplies when we do our alternates for Paper Pumpkin, and that is a load of fun. But what if you're traveling? What if you don't have a lot of extra supplies? You do that too? Yay. Thank you, Carol. I'm not alone. You don't have a lot of extra supplies. Maybe you're a kiddo. Maybe you're doing it with friends and you want something simple. So this is a very simple one. And we're going to actually mount this on here. And then I'm just going to trim it even on the sides. You could absolutely use this, leave a little bit more of, cut it a little bit lower onto the envelope, and then use the fold to wrap it around and do the envelope fold. But I just did the faux today. Okay. So just like that, this is going to be our foil piece that came in the paper pumpkin kit that we're going to use to pop up. Give it a little depth with some dimensionals. So pretty. These foil pieces are gorgeous. Calypso coral, shaded spruce, granny apple green are the core colors in there. The foil has a silvery tone to it, foil accents. So what's on everyone's agenda today? What are you up to? Anybody stamping? Okay. And then, I used a piece of balmy blue when I did this particular project, but I think I have the envelope flap left over from the sample. So hopefully I'm not going to jam my punch, but I'm going to try to do this with my punch. Which is in my club kit because I have clubs this week. And if you happen to be watching and you're local to my area and you don't have a demonstrator, come check me out. We've got clubs, I've got just card classes, all kinds of fun things that we'd love to have you join us for. So I think that's going to work very nicely. And we are going to stamp the Enjoy the Day, which came in the stamp set with the kit. And we're going to use the shaded spruce ink. Now I grabbed my large ink pads. Ooh, then foot doctor appointment. Oh, well, I hope it goes well for you. I do. I grab my larger ink pads because I tend to keep my spots as prizes, or we did a fun counting game. What's in the jar? How many pieces are in the jar game at my team meeting last Christmas, and their ink spots are great to put in that kind of a little game. So if I have the large ink pad, well, let's be honest, I have all the large ink pads. So it's not if I have the large ink pad. I will use the large ink pad just so I can keep those spots for other things. So when I create my box, most likely I'm going to do something different, a little different with it. Foot doctor. Did I say something else? I thought I said foot doctor. All right, and then these are the gems that came in the kit. And like I said, they remind me very much. I think they probably are the iridescent rhinestones. And just like that, we have our first card. Quick, cute. And the only thing I used that wasn't in the kit, by substituting the flap from the envelope, I didn't use anything that wasn't in the kit, actually, now that I say that, other than the large ink pad, right? So very cute, very quick, easy to do. All right, so we're going to lay that one over here. Oh, you know what I didn't tell you at the beginning? Oh, sorry. So here's the deal. I got contacts yesterday, which are fabulous because I finally have the best vision I've had in 6 years. But now I'm trying out different readers. So I need one size or one power to do stamping and one power to see the computer. And I'm trying to make the stamping ones work with the computer. So my apologies. These are my just cards for this month. I finally got the papers and everything in that I wanted to be able to finish them off. Aren't they cute? So remember, with a minimum $35 product order on my website during May using this host code, you can earn these kits for free. If you're long distance, we do ask for $4 postage to mail them. And if you bump your order up to $50, you're going to get a free embellishment this month. That's my special that I'm running. Yeah, I know. Yay for the contacts. I was excited. I was very excited. So these are those particular project kits that you will receive. You get envelopes, you get all the pieces are die cut for you. Ideally, very minimal stamping has to be done on these since we don't know what stamps you may have. You'll need a flower here, but any flower could be substituted. And it is a variety. So there's 2 birthdays, right? There's a thank you, a sympathy, and then a thinking of you. So keep that in mind. The link to shop with the host code is also below. And then don't forget, I have a fabulous take and make class this month featuring the Cheerful Daisies, right? So you get the supplies, the PDF, you get a half a pack of paper, you get a set of Moody Mauve blends to make 2 each of the cards for a total of 8 cards with envelopes. And the link for that will be below the video as well if you're interested in signing up for that. That is a to-go class. I was going to try to do an in-person here locally as well as to go, and I'm just not going to be able to make it happen before I leave for cruise. So the cutoff to register for that is the 16th. I'm going to order on the 17th, and then when I get back, everything should be here, get the class cut, and get it in the mail to you, hopefully by the 1st or 2nd of June. Okay. Back to stamping. That was my intermission there. Hi, Tina. How about this one? Again, minimal supplies were added to this. Really, the only thing I added was the mat behind the label that comes in the kit, right? This is one of 2 labels that we get in the kit. This had the stitching around it, and I wanted to marry it with something. Ooh, sorry. I don't know what that was. I wanted to marry it with something, so I grabbed the layering tag dies, tailored tag dies. Sorry, they do layer as well. And this is a really cute little set. Obviously, you can make tags with it, perfect for the holidays, right? But you can do it as labels as well. And then these give you like the bigger openings at the top if you want a bigger opening than just the little oval or the little circle. So this is what I brought in on this particular project. Everything else came directly from the paper pumpkin kit. And I already cut it out of a Calypso Coral cardstock scrap that I had. So we're going to layer those 2 on there together. This card base directly from the paper pumpkin kit. And I'm looking for that sheet of foil that I showed y'all. There it is. And we're going to punch this guy. Now this guy is all one piece. He's very tall and he would look lovely on there as well. But I wanted a little something more, and I couldn't raise this up without this being in the way. So we're just going to trim these apart. And it's really unusual because for years, I've had to take my glasses off to do something like this. And I keep taking them off, and then I have to put them back on because I realize, no, now I need the glasses for the close work. Where before I took them off for the close work. So I'm just going to trim this guy out, kind of leaving a border where I can to mimic the die cut itself, right? And then there I've got a little extra oomph. We'll take that off. So now I have 2 pieces. And I'll trim this up, even though I really don't have to because it's going to be hidden behind our label. Now I have my 2 pieces. And I could use them on 2 separate cards if I wanted to, right? But I'm going to put them both on the same card. I just needed them to be a little bit shorter. And here, again, I'm going to bring in my shaded spruce. Let's turn it in the right direction. I'm grateful for all the little things you do. So this, of course, is a thank you card. How many times do you lay your seal down and it disappears? And I know that happens to other people too. All right, so we are going to put some adhesive on the back of our label so that I can attach my stems accordingly. I don't want a whole lot of gap between them. Ooh, sticking to my fingers as much as it's sticking to my stem there. There we go. I think that's what I want, or something close to it, right? Bring that up that way a little bit. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna, since that's such a short piece, gonna add a little bit. And then I did not pop this, so we're just gonna add some adhesive across the back. Bring this down here. And then the little bow I tied from the baker's twine that was included in the kit. And I did that already, but we're going to do it again because it doesn't seem to be here. So I think I mentioned before, I love our baker's twine, but when it's this thin, I feel like to get the impact that I want with that particular embellishment, I need to double it up. So we're going to double it up. And I double it before I even cut it. And I tend to do that when I'm making bows because I think in most cases it saves us ribbon. But if you go too long, then you're probably losing ribbon because you're cutting a lot of the tail off, right? Okay. So I'm going to pull that one, pull that, and then I just pull my ends to get the loop size that I would like. So if you're like me and you struggle tying bows onto projects, then this is the best way to do it. This is what I call an air bow. It's almost the only type of bow that I tie. Every once in a while, I designed a card for our club this month, and they do have to tie it onto the card. But if you haven't been following me for a long, long time, you'll know that almost 20 years ago, when I went to my first Stampin' Up! Convention, I participated in the swaps, and I made 500 cards, 100 each of 5 different designs. And I'm pretty sure at least 3 or 4 of the designs had bows on them. And at the time, I couldn't tie a bow to save my life. So God love my sweet mama. She sat and tied 300 or 400 bows for me to put on these swap cards. She is the reason that I do what I do today, because she was a crafter and I'm pretty sure there's not a craft, maybe woodworking. That might be the only one. As I'm cleaning out the house and I'm finding everything, I'm like, I don't think there was a craft she didn't do. We've got decoupage, we've got needlepoint, we've got crewel, we've got knitting and crochet. Of course, we have stamping and scrapbooking. It's a little crazy. So anyway, okay, so there we go. But those air bows work. So, try those if you struggle doing a bow on your card. They don't have to know you didn't tie it on the card. Run a piece of ribbon and then just use a dimensional, put the bow where you would normally tie the bow, right? Okay. There we go. What do you think? That's project number 2. Again, minimal additional product so that we can stay true to the kit, but come up with some alternate designs All right, we're going to grab the next one. And also, if you have somebody who says, I'm not a stamper, I don't want to have to stamp, right? Well, a lot of cards for the swap, it was back then. And I did that several years and then I stopped. And now I don't. If I do swaps, I might do 25 or 50. I just, yeah. And my business grew, right? So I spend more time dedicated to actually getting things done for my business. I design all my own projects, so it wasn't like I was getting them and then coming home and copying them. But it was fun. And I always love seeing what everybody else makes. So that's always fun too. All right, we're going to use a piece of shaded spruce, staying in the kit theme. And we're going to use this beautiful piece of foil with all that greenery on it. Would you like to see the card? Here we go. So we're going to make this one. This is going to be our sympathy card. Okay. We have all these little extra flowers. Put that right there. Now this is one, you can use your seal on this. There's lots of big spaces to add some adhesive if that's the choice that you want to make, or you can use Tombow, fine tip, whatever glue you prefer. I'm a seal girl simply for the simplicity and the speed of the seal. So we're going to go with the seal. Such a pretty piece. All right. And then I cut a piece of early espresso. So I did bring some additional cardstock in on this one. That label is in the kit. And of course, this cute little accent piece, which I know I didn't show you because I used them all, but this one. But this is one of the accent pieces that is in the kit as well. So we're going to stamp. Bring in a piece of scrap for my greenery images. And I'm going to do the greenery images first on the sides. And I just tilted it one way and then tilted it the other way. That leaves us the center to put in the with deepest sympathy. I'm going to keep it up just a little bit so that I have a space to put that cute little bow. That one is here. It did not run away. And then we're going to center this behind to bring in a little bit more of the Calypso coral. This I'm going to mount flat, and we're going to pop up the little flowers that we're going to add. Here is my early espresso bow. And my blue dots back. I take my embellishments when I can, my bows, the knot of my bows, to the glue dot, press it down, and then you can use your fingernails, or you can take your pick tool or the point of your scissors to help you pick it up and place it exactly where you'd like it on your project. And then we're going to grab the 3 flowers. So I will tell you in the instructions that come with the paper pumpkin kit, right? There is a project, and it is this one, okay? And it is the sympathy project. And you also get these cute little banner labels too, partial banner labels. They use the large foil piece, and then they pop this one over top. To me, I didn't want to do that. So I'm not doing that. I'm using my foil pieces individually to get the maximum from them that I can, right? We're going to put dimensionals on the back of the little flowers. And they're big enough for the regular size dimensionals. And then we're just going to pop these. Oops. Not a perfect symmetrical triangle, but I think that gives it a little bit more interest. And I didn't even use any of the gems on this one. I thought about it. I thought about putting gems. That looks crooked. I thought about putting gems in the center of the flowers, but I opted at the end, I opted not to. All right. And then I've got a piece of basic white for the inside. And you can write a personal note, or of course, if you have an inside greeting for sympathy that you like, you could of course stamp that on the inside as well. And there is project number 3. And here, all we brought in was the cardstock, the shaded spruce and the early espresso cardstock. These are simple cards. This is great to do with your kiddos or older people who maybe haven't stamped before. All right, here's our last one. And here I'm bringing in another piece. No, this is actually in the card kit. This is the thick basic white in the card kit. We've got a layer of Calypso coral. Okay. And can you tell what the background is? That is the envelope. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, is your April kit done? Or are you like me and it takes you a few days or weeks to get them done? All right, so I'm going to grab my paper trimmer again. And we're going to trim off. Well, we're going to trim this down to 5 1/4 by 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is just trim off one side. And then the other side at 5 1/4. Maybe not, because I can use that flap for something too, right? So let's trim it again on the fold line. Now we're going to do 5 1/4 by 4. So I can trim that off. Oops. It did not cut. There we go. And then 5 1/4. And do you ever look at it and go, well, which side? Let's go with this side. There we go. So then we have our background. Now we have that really fun accent image in the kit. So the only stamp I'm not using today is the little flower. You could easily stamp that on the inside panel of your card, right? But we have this fun little background stamp. And I'm like, well, let's do something fun with that. So we're going to bring that in. And we're going to grab the shaded spruce again. Oh, good, Carol. Yay for you. A class, that's awesome. And I'm going to off stamp because I didn't want it quite that bold, right? always when you're creating a background, you want to make sure that you are going off the edge of the paper so that it looks like finished designer paper and not something that you just kind of stamped a bunch of images in the center of, right? There we go. I think that's good because really the center is going to be covered up by all that beautiful foil, right? So if we don't have a lot there, we're probably fine. Let's grab that piece. I tell you, when I did the sympathy card, I struggled a little bit because I don't think of foil being on a sympathy card. Do you? We're going to take one of the other accent images that was in the kit, and we're going to extend our piece with that. So I'm basically just going to cut this in half. Okay. And pop that onto the back. Actually, I'm not going to pop it on the back. I'm going to mount this with dimensionals. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the dimensionals. I'm going to stay away from those two edges so I can slide it in under. This is a big piece to mount with dimensionals, so we're going to use quite a few of them. But I want to be able to slide the ends of that accent piece in underneath and mount them flat so that the dimension is coming from the foil piece. And I'm going to keep this low so I have space there at the top to get my greeting in. Try to center it as best I can as soon as it lets go of my finger. Okay. And now I can add some adhesive to the back of this piece. Mount this first so I can line it up with the edge of the Calypso coral. And then slide that in there. Just like that. Ooh. Stay there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And I might trim that down just a little bit because I don't need all of that under there. And I'm using the indentation going around the flower into the leaf kind of as my guide so that I'm sure they're pretty straight across from each other. Isn't that always the trick when you are doing something across behind and you don't want to waste your cardstock behind what's not going to be seen, right? All right, so we have that. We're going to do the Celebrate today. Again, the only punch I brought in was that double oval punch. See if I can get this up and move it over a little bit. It's not exactly centered on the coral. That's much better. There we go. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to stamp that again in the shaded spruce. That's the Celebrate Today. That is also from the stamp set in the kit. It's a really good stamp set. You'll use that a lot. And it's one of the perks of being a Paper Pumpkin subscriber because it's exclusive to Paper Pumpkin. Now, that to me was just a little too stark against my background. It's pretty, but all I did is I took my orange blending brush and I just added some shading, which was almost perfect with the Calypso coral color. around the edges. And the flatter you lay your brush as you're doing this, the further in the color comes on your label. Okay. We'll pop that right there. We're going to grab the bling again. Take your pick tool. And we're going to put some bling on here. So we're going to do 2 of the smaller ones on the label. A large one down here in the corner because we need 5. And then the 2 small ones again, 1 on each of the end circles. These you almost don't see. There's just a little bit of glisten there. Since they're already going on to that Calypso coral color, it kind of takes them away. But there we go. So again, minimal additional product in case you don't have it, right? Something that's easy enough to do with younger, older folks, people who stamp, people who don't stamp. And everybody likes to feel like they're accomplishing things. So these don't take a lot of time to create, especially if you're doing all of the extra cutting in advance for them. But I think they're really pretty, and I'm trying to figure out where they went. Here we go. So there's one, that one. And to be honest with you, the 4th one vanished. There. I'm like, where could it have gone? So there you go. There are 4 alternates with paper pumpkin that you will be able to do just as quickly as you can the actual paper pumpkin cards themselves. And we used pretty much everything from the kit with the exception of this one little stamp. And we did add in, like I said, we added in the Calypso coral and the shaded spruce and the early espresso cardstock and the double oval punch and the tailored tags. That was it. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoyed these projects. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Share the video for me would be great. Don't forget, you can register for the product-based clubs, the In-Color Club, the 4-Color Club. We have the Cheerful Daisy class going on with registration up through the 15th, I believe it is. And then we also have free with your minimum $35 product order in May using my host code, the Just Cards. Right? And one of those walked away too. Oh, no. Yeah, one of those walked away. But there's 5. So make sure that you are taking advantage of some of those things if you don't have a demonstrator that you're currently working with. And if you, for some reason, have not gotten a tech catalog yet and you need one, please reach out to me and we will make that happen for you. All right, guys, have a great day. Be safe. And hey, if you follow me on Facebook, check out a post that's coming out pretty soon. I'm going to go live at 2:30 to show you my first order from the mini catalog. Or from the mini catalog, from the new catalog. Okay. All right. Hey, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.